Here's a list of things that will probably die within your lifetime. Your car battery, your phone battery, and definitely you. You will die at the end of your lifetime, if that makes sense. I don't think. The third item on that list is probably the thing that interests you most, because we're used to phones and car batteries dying, but when it's time for us to die, that is something that most of us worry about. And I get it, things do die. Unless you are using a Nokia from 1997, your phone battery has probably already died on you several times. Last week I made a video about quiet quitting and how doing so can help you tolerate your job and prioritize yourself at work and in your life in general. And if you watched that video, you may remember the story that I told at the beginning of the video about a manager whose coworker was hospitalized at the time of the recording of that video. And unfortunately, since I released that video just 7 days ago, the man that I was talking about in the video has passed away, and he was only 45 years old. So in this video, I wanted to talk to you about how the experience of working with people who have passed away has helped me actually prioritize myself, prioritize my mental health, and have a better relationship with work. So hello there from your phone battery that is hopefully all the way charged up. Hello from the internet. This is Nicole from the Loved and Listened To channel. I make weekly mental health and wellness videos, and I would love if you would subscribe and come back every week to join me on this journey. So let's get into the video. So this man's unfortunate death, the person that I was just speaking about, made me remember another time that a coworker died. Back when I first started working in corporate America, another coworker actually became ill, and after a couple of weeks, he too passed away. When he died, everyone in my department was notified by his wife. This man had worked very closely with everyone in my department for years, like 10 whole years. At that time, I had just started the job, and I had only been working there for maybe about 6 months before he died. So for me, I mostly just chatted him up at the coffee bar, and we had worked on a couple of projects together. But he had worked very closely with everyone else in the department for so long that I actually thought that people would be pretty upset when he passed away. I was actually very wrong about that. Here's what actually happened when this man died. The HR department sent a floral arrangement signed by the company, not even signed by his coworkers. Two people argued over which would get his office now that he was dead, because apparently he had one of the best offices on the floor. And only one person went to this man's wake. And do you know who that person was? It was me. It was my black ass. I was the only person from the entire department that went to this man's funeral. His wake. The wake was during the workday, and I thought that more people would go. I was very confused, and I guess looking back, also a little naive. I kept asking everybody if they were going to go, and the reason that people told me they were not going to go to his wake is because they had meetings. They had to go to meetings. They had to go to meetings. A man that they had worked with for over 10 years had died kind of unexpectedly. And they had the opportunity to go to his wake, look his family in the eye, talk to them, and they decided instead to not only go to the meetings, but schedule meetings during the wake. But I just felt that was really wrong. I thought that was so messed up that, like, you work with this guy for so long and you're just gonna go to a meeting after he unexpectedly dies? Like, I thought that was really crazy. So I went to the wake, and I remember sitting a few pews back behind his wife. And eventually she looked around and she saw an unfamiliar face, mine, and she came over to ask me who I was. And at that time I showed her my badge with the company logo on it, and her face actually lit up just to see one person that was from his job. His job, the place where he has spent 8 to 10 to 12 hours every day, 5 days a week, maybe even on the weekends, for over 10 years of his life, over 10 years of their married life together. And she was actually happy to see that one of the people that he had spent so much time with away from his home and his family, that one of those people even bothered to show up. And it was me. So she smiled at me and she asked me, did you all work closely together? And honestly, I didn't have the heart to tell her that no. I was basically really new at the company, and I had only worked with him on 2 projects. Like, I didn't have the heart to tell her that no, I wasn't one of the people that he had probably talked to her about, one of the people that he had worked with for over 10 years. I just didn't have the heart to tell her that. But what I did have the heart to tell her, and in order to not be a liar basically, is that I told her that we had worked together on a couple of projects, and he was always very patient and very kind. And that was definitely very true. I saw the large floral arrangement that the company had sent to his family, and it was standing at the foot of his casket. So basically, the last thing the company that he had spent so much time and energy on and with these people, the last thing that they ever did for him was just to send a floral arrangement. No co-workers were there to hold his wife's hand. None of his managers were there to support his sons after they experienced a really unexpected death of their father. And the card that accompanied the floral arrangement wasn't even signed by the co-workers. It was just signed by the company with the company logo on it. I often think about that man whose wake I went to, and especially now that I'm starting to reach middle age, it really makes me think about my relationship with work. And my relationship with work and how I'm trying to get better with it is one of the big reasons why I created this YouTube channel. So especially now that I am approaching middle age, I am constantly thinking about what really matters. I know that you probably already know that your family, your friends, yourself, those are the things and the people, the experiences that actually matter. I know that you know that logically. I know that logically. But do you know that in your heart? Do you show that you know that by spending the time and energy on yourself, your family, your friends, the amount that you want to spend with them or spend on those things? I want you to use this story from last week and this week's video about other people's deaths, even though very sad, can be morbid depending on how you feel about death. But I want you to use these stories to help inspire you. I want you to use these experiences to help you become inspired to do what it is you want to do or you need to do before you die, because your time is going to come just like mine. I don't know how to go about telling you how to do whatever specific thing that you want to do with your life, but I can tell you that without question, without even knowing you, I know that you have something positive to contribute to the earth, to the matrix, to life, to whatever you want to call it. You have something positive to contribute. And your great contribution might be aligned with whatever your job is, but it might also not be aligned with whatever your job is. I know that my 9 to 5 is not at all aligned with what I feel that I am here to do and what I want to do while I am here. And that's okay. We don't have to really fulfill our purpose through our jobs, but we should not allow our jobs to overtake so much of our time and energy that we don't have anything left to contribute to what it is we really want to accomplish while we are here and alive on earth. Another thing is that I've thought about is that in order for you, for me to contribute whatever it is we want to contribute to the matrix, basically, we need to be happy in order to do that. We need to have some level of satisfaction or contentment, maybe some happiness too, in order to have enough of ourselves left to do what it is we feel that we're here to do, that we feel that we want to do. So again, I definitely want you to just take a moment after you watch this video and think about how you want to spend the rest of your life. I don't mean it in a way like what job you're going to do or like how many kids you'll have or something, like what car you're going to drive. I mean it in the way of like, how are you going to express yourself? How are you going to give of yourself, your wonderful self, to what it is the rest of us is experiencing? What are you going to give, and how are you going to align the time and energy that you have in order to be able to give it? And I want you to figure that out. I'm working on figuring that out, but I want you to figure that out too before it is too late. Because, like an iPhone that's a few years old, your battery is one day, without question, going to die. So on that lovely but somewhat morbid note, I'm going to leave you. I hope this message gave you some food for thought. It definitely gave me a lot of things to think about as I wrote and put together this video. I hope you enjoyed the video, even though it was a bit morbid, and I hope that you found it inspirational. If you did, please consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Make sure to check out the video from last week, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, my friends, namaste.